we're here with Jock Doubleday, and he is the official videographer for the Bosnian Pyramids Foundation in Visoka. So, what can you tell us about your experience? To start, for the overall experience that you've witnessed there.
Well, from June 2014, for 16 months into 2015, I worked as the official videographer for Archaeological Park Foundation in Visoko, Bosnia. And that was for Dr.SamOsmanagich, who is the discoverer of the Bosnian pyramids, as many of you know. Although Wikipedia wants to tell us that this is only a claim and not a fact.
We saw this morning, yes.
Oh, on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say Bosnian pyramid claims instead of Bosnian pyramids. And it's like, so, but the scientific community, the real scientific community, knows that there are pyramids and other ancient structures in Visoko, Bosnia. And we have documented this. I and many other videographers and photographers and scientists working in different disciplines have documented this over the period of 12 years, since 2005, when Dr. Samir discovered the pyramids in Bosnia.
And you've been there since the start?
I was there as a volunteer in 2011 for 3 months, and I made some little videos with my little amateur camera, and I just pounded YouTube with these videos. And Samir said, why don't you come back in 2014 as an official videographer with a really good camera, and make some short scientific videos, 2.5 minutes each, so 2.5 minutes to keep the attention of YouTube, because a longer video won't be watched. So we made scientific videos on various aspects of the project, the megaliths in Ravne Tunnel, the healing properties of Ravne Tunnel, the energy phenomena in Ravne Tunnel, like orbs and other things, the water in Ravne Tunnel, the concrete on the Pyramid of the Sun. There's so many different specific aspects that Samir-Osmanagich wanted to have brought to the attention of the world. These are phenomenal, astonishing aspects of the pyramids. For instance, the 4 layers of concrete that cover the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. It's astonishing. But if you don't have a chance to go to Bosnia and see the 4 layers, then it's nice to be able to sit in your living room and just watch a video. Oh, 2.5 minutes of concrete on the Pyramid of the Sun. Well, I guess there is a pyramid.
And we just got there's Jock, so
well, I mean,
we say something.
It was shocking to me, because there are professional videographers like Frankie, who's running the camera right now, all over the world. And I'm not a videographer, I'm just a guy with a camera, and I get to be the videographer on the biggest archaeological project in the world. This is crazy. I thought there should be 1,000 videographers who want to come and be this guy. So to me it was a comedy. Why do I get to be so lucky? And wow, the pressure is on, because I need to make a professional video, and I'm not a professional videographer. So I just did my best with Final Cut.
I guess you started something that is going to grow and grow and grow.
Well, hopefully. I just did my best, and we just put the videos on the internet, and that brings the scientists, and that's what Samir wants.
Probably you did a great job, because I've seen lots of videos about the pyramids, and probably most of them were done by you.
Thank you. Well, I got a camera specifically for Ravne Tunnel, because it's, as you might imagine, it's very dark in the tunnel. So you need, there is some lighting in there, but you need a good light-sensitive camera, so that's what I bought. So it's a very filmic quality to the footage in the tunnels. And if anybody out there in YouTube land or Facebook, whoever's watching this video, if you want to experience something amazing, Ravne Tunnel, which winds beneath the Bosnian Pyramid Complex in Visoko, Bosnia, is an amazing experience. They have excavated this fill-in material that was brought in 4,600 years ago, and little by little are excavating this gravelly, sandy material, this loose material, and the volunteers are taking it out, and little by little they'll find a megalith on the side of the path, another megalith. And you say, well, it's just a big stone. Well, it's not. They're not stones. They're ceramic sculptures from the past.
They're immense. They're enormous.
They're enormous. And some of them are as big as a house, like megalith K5, ceramic sculpture K5 is as big as your living room or bigger. And so they were clearly poured there in place, not brought in with slaves and ropes, but poured there by a sophisticated culture. And so you say, wow, this is just absolutely amazing, but they're not like a Roman right angle square
antiquity
thing.
or something. Yeah,
it's strange
shapes. Difficult
shapes.
to determine what it is, but
they're bizarre.
But they are pretty sure. The scientists are pretty sure that this was poured there.
Well, they know certainly with 100% accuracy
yes.
that these are artificial ceramic sculptures, not natural rocks. And they're placed on sandstone plates to keep them exactly where they want to be.
Okay.
Now the scientists have discovered that beneath these megaliths, every single one of them, there are underground water channels that meet or diverge. So if there's a water channel that's going along underneath the tunnels, and it hits something and diverges, bad energy is coming up. If there are two water channels that meet, bad energy is coming up. So the megaliths are set on top of these meeting places or diverging places of the water underneath, and they are mitigating that energy.
They're acting as a buffer.
They're acting as a buffer between that energy and us. Whoever's in the tunnel does not want to experience the negative effects of these water channels.
This is very interesting.
It's fantastic.
Yes, very interesting.
The technology, the understanding, and then technology to put into play these incredible sculptures to help our health. And you say, well, our health. I mean, we're just visiting this place that was made by who knows what race of people in the past. It wasn't. Was it for us? Well, we don't know who it was for.
Frankie was telling me earlier this morning that there are several layers beneath these stones. There are some quartz crystals or something. He was mentioning something like that.
The stones are the ceramic sculptures or the megaliths are placed on sandstone plates. So they're stuck to these sandstone plates, clearly placed there.
You can clearly see this base.
The base, exactly. So we know that someone put them there or poured them there.
Poured them there. So about that we're not sure, but we know for sure because of this basis that they are,
that they're an artificial, and they're always to the side of the tunnel path. So the tunnel is winding around. It's a labyrinth. So there's all these branching tunnels, and it's hard to know which ones to follow. And they're all filled with this filament material. And it's like, well, should we excavate this one or should we excavate this one? And that's the job of Dr.SamOsmanagich, is to decide which one to excavate, because there's so many branching tunnels filled with this filament material. So as we excavate, as the volunteers and employees excavate, they see, and they start to see a megalith on the side. And it's not in the middle of the tunnel, so we know it's not some random rock that just is sitting in the middle. It's always to the edge so we can get past it, and we're walking past them. So then the tourists come and they have this beautiful, they walk past these amazing sculptures left and right, and then they walk past a side tunnel that turns into a water channel. And some of these you can get, if you want to go in, you can see that they wind around, they get deeper and deeper, and then after 70 or 90 meters they stop. And you're like, well, why would the ancients create a water channel that winds for 70 or 90 meters and then stop? That doesn't make any sense. But we know that that the culture that filled in the tunnels left those open. So 90% of the tunnels were filled in. The main tunnel channel was filled in. Most of the side tunnel channels were filled in, but the ones with the water were not filled in. They were left open. So once we see a drywall stack of mortar-free rocks on the right, we take those out, we take some filament material out, and we see suddenly it opens up into a water channel that's not filled. So they blocked the entrances to the water channels, but they left the water channels open, and the water is drinkable, it's pure, it's medicine. So he sells it as medicine. Well, he can't sell it legally as medicine, he sells it as a souvenir. But you can use it as medicine, because it's got a high Bovis rating, and it's incredibly healthy. So
something else, you videographer, you've been all around the place, you've seen everything. What is it like when you come to the top of the pyramid? What do you see from up there?
From the Pyramid of the Sun?
Yeah, what's the view like? What impression do you have when you're on top?
Well, the first thing you see is the Pyramid of Love right next door, and those two pyramids are knitted together by a clay and concrete staircase. It's not really a real staircase where it looks like it was made to walk up, but it's alternating clay and concrete layers, perfectly horizontal, between those two pyramids that join them together on the southern side of the Pyramid of the Sun and the northern side of the Pyramid of Love. So it's like this really strong double, twin pyramid structure. So, and from the tallest pyramid in the world, the tallest documented pyramid, the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, you can see the top of the Pyramid of Lod, which is the smaller pyramid, and it's a flat top, and you kind of wonder, was it always flat, or was there once one of those quartz crystal capstones? Just like you wonder, was there once a beautiful capstone on the Pyramid of the Sun? And who took it and where did it go, if there was?
So, I'm not familiar with this. What's about these capstones? Can you elaborate on
all
this?
Around the world, you have this, the top of the pyramid's not there, and you kind of wonder, where's the top of the pyramid?
Okay.
And so the theory is that there were crystal tops to these pyramids all around the world that have been taken for their value or taken to keep people from knowing what the power of the pyramids are. And what is the power of the pyramids? Well, Osmanagich in his doctorate dissertation said that it was one of the things that pyramids do is to communicate with other planets. So he's been saying that for decades, and he just got confirmation of scalar wave phenomena in the Bosnian pyramids by Goran Marjanović's work. So they wrote an article called The Cosmic Internet. It's in Bosnian, or what you might call Serbian or Croatian, and it's also in English. The Cosmic Internet.
What is the Cosmic Internet?
We've got scalar waves coming from the center of the galaxy is the idea. This is Ken Rohla's idea, R-O-H-L-A, Ken Rohla. And his video, The Physics of Consciousness, is a key video. And he talks about the propagation of scalar waves from the center of the galaxy. DNA is picking up the information in the scalar waves like antenna. So DNA aren't the beginning of the information for life. He's saying that they're simply the antenna that's catching the information from the center of the galaxy. And that all these life forms are catching this incredible blueprint of information in the scalar waves. Now, what are scalar waves? Well, Tesla talked about standing waves, scalar waves. This is Tesla's discovery that these waves, which are traveling at maybe billions of times faster than the speed of light, which is hard to believe, but this is what he's saying, would allow, and Semir Osmanagich and Goran Marjanović are echoing Tesla's idea, would allow a cosmic internet to occur because the billions of times faster waves would allow instant communication between one side of the galaxy and the other. It would be like calling your friend in the next house on a telephone. It's scalar wave technology, and our cell phones should use scalar wave technology. It shouldn't be microwave technology, because the microwaves are detrimental to our health. Scalar waves are not.
What are these waves? I've heard about gamma rays and all kinds of, but I'm not familiar with it. You know, when you study the light spectrum and everything, where are they? They're cosmic rays, and where are they in this scale?
I think that the best thing to do for anyone who wants to research this is to look at this article, The Cosmic Internet.
Okay.
It's really new, it's fantastic, it's absolutely mind-blowing information, and it will give you the scientific basis for the scalar waves. And then, if people want, they can research Tesla. And he's big on the internet right now, but he has so many things that he's discovered, but the scalar wave phenomenon is something that he talks about. So if we start with Tesla, we get the general idea of what a scalar wave is, and it's difficult to speak about these things, and I'm not a scientist, so it's difficult for me. But he brought the idea to the forefront, and then literally over a century later, Goran Marjanović in the Bosnian Pyramid Complex comes along and says, I just detected scalar waves for the first time anywhere in the Bosnian Pyramid Complex.
Incredible.
What are they doing there? Are the pyramids antenna for scalar waves? Are they propagating them and receiving them? Is that why pyramids were built? It's a question.
What does it have to do with the geomantic energy? Tesla also talked a lot about
the Earth energy.
Earth energy, yes. Does it have a connection with the cosmos?
Semir talks about this all the time. He says that the pyramids are amplifying Earth energy. And if you said to me, what Earth energy are they amplifying? I don't know what the answer to that is. You know, I was a literature major who happened to work very thankfully as the videographer for the Bosnian Pyramids project. But I hear Semir, who's a real scientist with a real PhD in Mayan studies, talking about Earth energy being mitigated by pyramids. So I think you should ask Semir this question, because he's the man to talk to. And the scientists around the world who are ignoring the Bosnian Pyramid Complex and ignoring Samir and ridiculing him are making a mistake, and they should take a moment to think about why the Bosnian Pyramids project is the most active archaeological project on the planet.
Anything else on your experience? Did you experience something mystical when you were taking the videos? Something that you can tell us about your personal experience?
I wouldn't say anything mystical.
Maybe something special, some special experience that you have experienced while filming.
Going in the crevice between the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of Love, and noticing this concrete layer and then the clay layers, and the concrete layer and the clay layers going all the way up, and the strength of that structure, and knowing that no one ever goes in there because of the war that had happened in Bosnia 2 decades earlier. That there was some unexploded mortar pieces in there, so no one goes in there because it's too dangerous. I didn't know anything about that, so I was just walking up there, no problem, you know, and filming. Only found out later about that. But to see this incredible, clear knitting together of what looks like 2 hills, because it's covered with trees, is astonishing. So to me, I didn't really need a mystical experience because it was already so mystical to realize that mountains, I mean, huge hills, were actually built pyramids. I mean, and that no one had known that for hundreds or thousands of years, and it took Šesnić to come along and say, those are pyramids, in 2005.
I overheard you talking with the girl before about the pyramids being alive. Do you believe so?
She was the first one to come up with that, as far as I know, except that she said that Samir also is now saying that with this, the scalar wave phenomena in the pyramid complex, that these, because they're able to communicate with each other, the pyramids from one planet to another, she says that is an evidence, and perhaps he's saying that that's an evidence of life, because there's an evidence of consciousness to be able to communicate. Now, I don't know, that's the first I've heard of it.
Saying that all matter is actually energy, says that everything is alive, so even the hills.
Tesla said the crystals are alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Tesla is telling us the crystals are alive, and we know that the pyramids have crystalline material in them, I mean, if crystalline material defines what pyramids are all around the world. So I think this crystalline material that Tesla said is living could be the key to what our friend was talking about, and what Šesnić and Goran Marjanović, from the electrical engineer who's done research in the Bosnian pyramids, are saying about the pyramids being alive.
Thank you, Jock.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Martino.
Thank you very much.